Start the bulletin with a look at an evolving situation in the country's tea sector. The government raid on the Kenya Tea Development Agency's headquarters ran into the second day, with detectives keeping 4 members of staff within the premises until late this evening as they sought answers to audit queries. Now, the 4 members of staff held in the premises, or rather on the premises, are all ICT workers, with detectives keen on retrieving information from the agency's servers. The 4 staffers were released this evening. The government seeks to stamp its authority in the management of the tea sector through introduction of new regulations, which KTDA is vehemently opposed to. Alphas Lagat with the details.
The 2-day raid at the Kenya Tea Development Agency KTDA headquarters is the latest sign of the ongoing dispute between the government and the tea agency over sweeping reforms the Tea Act signed into law by President Uhuru Kenyatta in December 2020. Inspectors attached to the Attorney General's office for a second day running ransacking the offices of the agency, which has previously gone to court to challenge an attempt by the DCI to audit it and the executive directors. The detectives detaining 4 employees from the ICT department with a court order to retrieve information and data from the servers of the agency. A battery of lawyers led by Sam Nyaberi, however, protesting the continued detention of the 4 members of staff who were kept incommunicado as authorities moved to effect President Uhuru Kenyatta's Executive Order No. 3, meant to facilitate reforms in tea management.
Since when did the AG use up the powers of the DCI and the DPP to get into the realm of investigations, when in fact they are the named parties in the constitutional petition? That is the bone of contention.
Kulima mdogo kama mimi nipewe nafasi na wakulima wadogo wenzangu kule nyuma, ndipo nasikia tunaongea juu ya buying center nini na nini, ili tuchaguane. Lakini wewe ukikimbia tu hapa uje na uchague bwana so and so, sisi bwana so and so huyu hatujamuona hata siku moja.
KTDA is fighting new regulations that would allow management of tea by other agencies as long as they are authorized by farmers at factory level. The reforms also institute term limits for factory directors and, more importantly, have pushed for elections via the one-man, one-vote system. Previously, those who had a lot of tea held a lot of sway in factory elections and determined management. President Kenyatta's executive order essentially directed the facilitation of election within 60 days by the Interior and Agriculture Ministries. In the regulations gazetted by the Ministry of Agriculture to govern the tea sector in the country, further supported by the Presidential Executive Order No. 3 of March 12th, all tea produced in Kenya will be sold through the auction process by licensed tea auction organizers through an electronic trading platform. The reality of decision-making by farmers will be at liberty to choose directors to represent them with a maximum of 2 terms each, capped at 3 years, absent the previous order. The Executive Order No. 3 of 2021, elaborating on the revitalization of the tea subsector, also directing the Attorney General to, quote, conduct an inquiry into the alleged statutory and regulatory compliance breaches allegedly committed by KTDA and or its directors, including potential price and auction manipulation. End of quote. KTDA, which has filed several cases in court against the new regulations, in a statement earlier today, condemned the detention of staff and termed the ransacking of their offices unlawful, contravening the existence of a High Court order restraining such action. With tea farmers repeatedly complaining over the declining returns in the sector, government has moved in to streamline tea farming in Kenya. KTDA now fighting back for autonomy amid the evolving controversy. Alphas Lagat, Citizen TV, Nairobi.